Hey up, hey up. How we doing? We all good? We're live. I'm late, I know. Very, very late. I'm late for a very important date. No time to say hello, goodbye. I'm late. I guess it counts as the fact I've been extra early the last couple of days. +1, -1. Schedules are never my thing. Fishing time. We are going to have to do some fishing. Happy Pizza Day. Carney, welcome in. Good morning. Thank you very much. I think I've got what. I tell you what, I think I'm doing one better than pizza today. I've got a nice steak in the fridge. I thought I should probably spend a bit of time caressing and barbecuing, and yeah, very nice, very nice. That's the plan for dinner. Pizza might get delayed till tomorrow. Better than one pizza, two pizzas. That is true. Joey special, cheeky Joey special. I got to jump straight onto this incursion real fast. Since it's about to start, there's no reason not to. What is this one? Summoning the thing. Oh, this is the stupid one where you got to go get 21 things. Ugh. Right, sure, we'll do it quick. It's fine. Easy enough, easy enough. We're going to be doing loads of keys today. We didn't do any coins, sorry. We didn't do any flipping underworld action yesterday. Nearly none whatsoever. I did play catch up a little bit yesterday, I think, but kind of want to get these coins farmed double time, to be honest. This seems to be the week to do it because absolutely every man and their dog is also doing it. But oh my god. Has anybody else had a little bit of a cheeky look at some of the achievements for the for this zone, for the vault? The achievements are ridiculous. And I also have a sneaky suspicion that Blizzard have done Blizzard things and they've time-gated a bunch of the achievements again. Just to make sure that people don't zerg it in a week and then drop it like it's hot. Cheeky, cheeky. There looks to be some stuff that's available this week that... And more importantly, some stuff that is not available this week. Certain incursions, certain bosses, certain patrols don't seem to be active this week. Or at least I have never seen them, and I think I've done plenty enough of this already to, you know, warrant seeing them if they existed. I think Blizzard are being their usual cheeky selves, but we'll see. Let's get this delivered. Oh, coffee good. Coffee good. Yeah, some of the achievements are just brutal. There's an achievement for doing 300 cursed surges, by the way. You know, the upstairs ones that are on a 45-minute timer. They only spawn once every 45 minutes, and there's an achievement to do 300 of them. Just do the math on that just real fast. 45 minutes, multiply that by 300, 13,500 minutes. Divide that by hours, 225 straight hours of doing surges upstairs. Will somebody please think of the engagement? Oh my god. They must be absolutely out of their mind with those numbers. That ain't never happening. Never, ever, 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 ever. Yeah. So there are a couple of achievements. I'm going to look at them, and unless they just straight up switch them off, or like reduce them by a multiple of 10, they aren't getting done. No way. New zone is a gold mine for the lumber, as you said it would be. Have you done any tests? Have you figured out, like, on a per hour basis what you get in? Game volume's a bit loud, isn't it? It's turned down a bit for you, but it's quite loud. Hang on. I'm going to tone down the game volume a touch. For everybody involved, it's blasting my ears. I'll just turn the master volume down by a smidge. I sent you some in. 9 nodes left. At least one will be done this week. The others can wait. At least 9 nodes left. Are you talking about the corruption tree? What's going on? I'm Grove Hunter's Bounty. You got 13. May the delving commence next week. You do realise you can use those this week to get a piece of hero gear, right? You do realise you should be blasting those now. I got a hero trinket for my map. If you do an 8, you only need to do an 8. If you've been doing the quests to get the maps, blast them this week. Doesn't need to be bountiful. But this week I don't get crests from the box. I mean, it's crests versus a hero guaranteed piece of hero gear. Surely, I don't know. You're by not doing them, you are going in the opposite direction to literally every single person I've spoken to. You can't open 2 maps in 1 week, so what's the point of keeping it? I mean, you might have big-brained it. I'm not going to say you haven't. You might have big-brained it. But I've blasted mine already. With the amount of inconsistencies in this patch, though, I'm not taking anything for granted. And I'm not that serious about the gearing at the end of the day anyway, am I? So I'm 12 out of... No, 13 out of 20 on the unlocks on the Altar of Corrosion. And unfortunately, that's the easy bit. That's the easy bit. It gets significantly more grindy from here on out. Ah, fuck. Let's jump. Jesus, this boss got nuked. Absolutely ruined. Rip frame rate. See you later, frame rate. Nobody liked you anyway. I mean, crests-wise, I think I'm capped on crests as well, to be honest, so far. It's weird that they've capped... Why do they cap things like adventure crests? I don't get it. Like, you can't do shit with adventure crests anyway. There's lots of stuff I don't get with the gearing. I'm open to be proven wrong about these things from time to time. 285 boots, champion boots already. I should upgrade those boots, to be fair. Those boots are going to be sticky, so I get the feeling I should probably upgrade those. Yeah, I'm capped on crests. I literally can't get any more crests this week, I don't think. I haven't spent any on upgrading my gear yet, because I don't know what the play is with that. I haven't figured that one out. But I think I'm going to go upstairs real quick, do the fishing stuff. I got distracted by the fact there was an incursion up, and if there's an incursion up, do the incursion. I got distracted by that, but I think I'm going to head upstairs and do the fishing whilst people flood in. And then we'll put a raid group together or a party together, whatever seems most sensible, and just like deathball this place. You just kind of you either, and it depends if they fixed it. The Undercity thing at the top here is really good for just doing little laps round. Just do laps round it, killing everything in a party of 5. Or, you know, 2x4 it even, maybe, potentially. You just do laps around this thing to kill everything. Or you go raid and you just do laps around this center bit. You cross over the middle and you come back down and you just loop. You just loop around killing things. In a big ball. Is the way to get the most coins in the most efficient time plausible, I believe. But I'm weirdly, although I've got like 13, I think it was 13 of the 13 out of 20. I'm at the point where the rest of them don't really make that much difference. I had my suspicions. You guys will know that we tested this reasonably thoroughly on the PTR, and I had my suspicions on the PTR of like the question why, like why, what's the advantage of this? And I was assuming that because we weren't able to like grind it out particularly well on the PTR, that, you know, some of these later perks and bonuses, and by the time you stack it all on top of each other, it would get like, you know, really cool. So far it does very little. Genuinely does very, very little. Your abilities can inflict poison. Basically makes no difference whatsoever. Venom enhanced enemies are more likely to release volatile venom. And your venom coating is applied 50% more often, and it affects multiple enemies. You would think this would all stack on top of each other, but it, to me at least, it seems to have made practically zero difference whatsoever. This side... these, I can tell you with strong level of certainty that the decrepit chests, just ignore them. Like, it's why Blizzard has felt the need to make multiple layers of treasures, again, that all have the same loot table. What's the point, Blizzard? What's the point in making me grind out keys to open chests that have the same loot table as the treasures that are freely just knocking about the map? Doesn't make any sense. To be fair, in grinding your keys, you're going to get a whole bunch of these decrepit keys. At grinding your coins for this tree, you're going to get the keys anyway. But it is all a little bit kind of like, there's that big looming question of just why? Because it doesn't do anything. None of this does anything particularly interesting. These spirits that supposedly assist you in moments of danger, I've never noticed a single one. Like, nothing seems to happen with them. It's all a little bit odd. I don't know whether half of it's broken or it's wildly undertuned. But it weirdly seems to do very little at all. It doesn't really benefit you, like, almost in any noticeable way, shape or form. But, it's still something I'm going to get done, because this is the week to get it done, because it will get remarkably more difficult to do it later in the day. And if it gets buffed or changed or tweaked or something, I'd rather have it done and then not need it than not do it, and then it get ramped up and I'm like, oh, now I've got to grind it out. So we'll see. Can you power level the fishing, or is it time gated? It's not time gated, you can just go. You can just zoom all the way to 300. The fused vitality is obviously time gated for you to get your epic fishing rod, but to be honest, if you haven't already got the epic fishing rod, I would buy a blue one off the auction house, then do the new fishing stuff and get the new epic fishing rod and put your fancy fishing line on that one when you get it. It's a... You're not going to... It's not important enough to spend a lot of serious time or effort on it, though. It's really not. It's more of a side hustle activity, really. And it's one of the very, very few things to do on the new zone anyway, so don't stress about the fishing too much. It's just fluff and stuff to make an illusion of choice and development. It's to occupy our time. The interesting thing is that I've looked... If you take a step back, I've done this a few times already, but you take a step back and you look at, like, this patch compared to the last 0.1 patches, like, it's a shell. It genuinely is. This patch cadence that they're really clearly struggling to keep up with is crippling their creativity. Clearly. Now, whether you believe my theory that they're stretching one expansion over 3 in order to work heavily on new stuff, whether you believe that theory or not, or whether you believe that they're just getting completely bogged down in this like permanent, there's always something around the corner, must be developing, must be developing, must be developing. Regardless to what's happening, it's absolutely nuking creativity. Nuking it dead. I've got to be careful with this. This mixing mystery is daily, which is now triggered to be a daily, by the way. It was bugged, but it looks like they've fixed this to now be daily. There's an achievement for claiming all the different types of offerings. Now, this is where you'll probably want to refer to Wowhead, and people will track these. But there's like 9 different combinations of these. Yesterday, and for the first day, I did 3 blood pearls. So today, I'm going to give you 3 ancient knuckle bones, and another knuckle bone, and another knuckle bone. And this will give me a different item, melancholic offering. Which gives me whoop-de-doo 33 Void Light Maul. But there's an achievement for doing all the different combinations. If you're clever, you do this in 9 days, 9 consecutive days. But it also kind of requires you to remember which combinations of hand-ins you can do. Where's the achievement for that? It's in here somewhere. Yeah, this is absolutely cracked, by the way. Defeat 300 cursed surges on the cursed isle. You have to be out of your mind to do that 300 times. Yeah, here we go. Collect all of the following offerings from Ophi's Cauldron. It's only a decor reward that you get from this, but you know, there's all the different combo variations of the 3 different things you can hand in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, 10? Is there 10 different versions? How can there be 10 different versions? If there's only 3 different variables, surely it's 3 squared, which is 9. So how can there be 10 different offerings? 3 of 1, 3 of 2, 3 of 3. 1 of 1 and 2. 1 and 3. I don't know. I can't do the maths out loud. But I could swear there's only meant to be 9 different variations, but apparently there's 10. So that's going to be an interesting twist. But strict deadlines are never good. I'm surprised Holly's still pushing it. She clearly saw how it ended EverQuest 2. The content just became a shell, and both players and the developers got burnt out. If it is Holly that's pushing it, of course. Well, I mean, it will... There's always, you know, there's always somebody riding the racehorse, but it's, yeah, distilling it down to just one person is rarely the case. At least in my experience. Right, let's see what's on the fishing menu today.
Have anything ancient to trade? Needs to be at least 2 centuries.
Let me check for updated add-ons again. Oh my god, literally all my add-ons are updated again. Here's to hoping that one of these fixes my weird interaction with quest windows. I don't know if anybody else has been having, but it's been driving me bananas.
If you find anything exotic,
God, I
bring
hate
it.
lairs. It's just a world boss in disguise. It'll be kind of cool that you'll be able to do it on normal, heroic, and mythic difficulty, though. Barely 10 people in there and somebody starts the fight. Well, that's a wipe. I mean, that's, you know, standard pug rules, eh? Isn't that the way?
I have great-grandchildren older than you. It is about the journey, not the destination.
Lure, then slay Sassak Mozak in the Serpent's Tail.
Knowledge is power, except stupid knowledge. Avoid that if you can.
Where's that? Over there. The odd thing for me is it's group loot. I don't understand why the lairs are group loot. I can sort of see if you're doing normal, heroic, or any of the non-queued content, I can kind of see why it'd be group loot. Why the Christ is it not personal loot? I don't know. That was one thing I might do today. If I get bored farming keys, which is inevitable, I might consider running some alts through and doing some stuff instead. Yeah, let me show you these decrepit chests in case you haven't seen them yourselves. They require a key from killing the purple outline mobs downstairs, and their loot table is exactly the flipping same. Oh, surprise, surprise. More health potions, a tiddly amount of Void Light Marl, and the kicker is you just get a handful of coins as well. But the fact you have to spend a point to unlock this, then you have to farm the keys, and it's exactly the same as a random ass treasure, just with an extra few bonus coins in. It's like completely devoid of any level of creativity. Like, it is the definition of like minimum viable product. Which I don't want to sound negative, but sometimes if it quacks like a duck, it's a duck. Maybe because it's week 1. No, no, they're just trash. Don't waste your coins on unlocking that node, because it's genuinely not worth it. Not to mention, it's very, very annoying when you go to pick up a treasure realizing it's one that needs a key to open and you've run out of keys. Alright, we gotta get some coffee in me clearly though. But yeah, lumber out here, I think, is the play. I am at the point already where, short of just chasing down and doing some of the grindiness of the achievements, like, I've had a good play of the new zone, both upstairs and downstairs. I think it's going to be time to consider what's going to keep us busy this patch. And I think this new zone specifically is an absolute gold mine for lumber. And with just how few people seem to have got on board with decor crafting seriously, I'm tempted to explore it in a bit more detail. I don't know how much lumber I've already got pre-farmed, but I'm very tempted to, because I've got most of the decor recipes. There's only a handful of the stupidly rare or stupidly expensive decor recipes I don't have. I reckon you're looking at 300 to 400 lumber an hour in this zone flying around on a druid. I think there's some real good money to be had in that. You can make, you know, best part of 70k value an hour. I think you're going to be laughing. You won't realise it as quick as picking up herbs and ore, but it's money in the bank all the same, I think. Might as well put all these professions to use somehow. Right, there's 4 dirty darters. Has somebody jacked up the value of these again today? Oh no, there's still like, there's clearly already too many of them for them to be highly manipulated. Although my data's 2 hours old, it could be. Time to make that clickbait YouTube thumbnail? Maybe. I'm not sure how or if or when we'll crack open the YouTube egg again, to be honest. I think the only thing that's going to really give me the YouTube bug again is if I find a new passion project. And I don't think it'll be World of Warcraft, and I don't think it'll be gold making. I think there needs to be something that really excites me that I can get my teeth into, get good at, and then do some YouTube content around that. I would uncomfortably feel like flogging a dead horse. I mean, I could obviously switch off the stream and just pump YouTube goal-making content, like, but I would genuinely feel like I'm flogging a dead horse, and, you know, I have enough respect for you lot to not do that. Just pivot to AI slop videos and rake in that ad money. I mean, that's another option for sure. Oh, Surge is up. Let's put, considering they only happen every 45 minutes, put that on the back burner. The other thing as well, there's an achievement for doing 300 surges, right? And to my understanding, they don't even get this. They don't even give you anything. Like a small handful of Void Light Marl. I don't even think they get that. I don't know. I don't. Blizzard really needs to figure this shit out. They gotta. They gotta get. The thing is, though, Blizzard look at this, and they're like, look at the hundreds of people that are just like on the treadmill, and it makes you realize that there is so many people who are super passionate to play this game, and they will literally wade through shit to play this game. And so at the end of the day, like, there's no wonder Blizzard gets complacent and lazy, and the creativity goes out the window. If you don't hold them to a standard, it's not really that surprising. Oh, I mean, if I was to go the AI slop route and just harvest ad money, you know, I would 100% separate that adventure. You'd never know I was doing it. It's funny because a couple of my cousins actually work within a marketing company, and I had a really good chat with them over the weekend because they sit on the other side of it, right? I understand the social media platforms from the, you know, creator ad revenue, what controls we have over what ads play and when side of things, but they have great level of detail about, you know, the ad buy, the other side of the story, the companies that are like, here's 100 grand, go spend it to make us more money. You know, what decisions they go through to decide who they run campaigns with, on what platforms, so on and so on. So it was quite interesting to see it from the other side of the story. They were very intrigued to find out how Twitch Turbo and YouTube Premium works, in terms of the creator gets a cut of the revenue as if they had seen, sorry, the creator gets a cut of the ad revenue from somebody that has Twitch Turbo, the same as if they viewed the ad, even though they don't see the ad. And I was trying to explain that money, the advertising company probably shouldn't pay for that ad impression, but instead the same equivalent amount comes off their Twitch Turbo subscription. I'm sure it's very clever, but I'm also sure it's highly sus. I'm sure there's an element of like advertisers getting pretty hard scammazed by this, and Twitch and YouTube just, you know, pocketing twice. Oh yeah, we displayed this many ads. Yeah, but how many of them got seen? It's the same with like ad block, I imagine. Companies want to know, like, you know, what percentage of your user base uses ad block on a regular basis, and they will account for that in what they spend. Yeah, what did we get from that surge? A Warbound Adventure Gear. And 10 Mist Crests. And 40 Void Light Mail. And 150 gold. I mean, it's modest. But when you think about the fact it only comes around once every 45 minutes. What are players supposed to be doing in the other 43 minutes? Not sure. I wonder how many people actually buy something after seeing an ad. I tend to just ignore them. But it's not, you know... I mean, Kahani's kind of hit the nail on the head there. Branding is different to marketing. Marketing is where you're actually proactively trying to sell something. But, you know, getting your brand image out there, in marketing, it's often considered that you need to see a brand, you need to be made aware of a brand as many as 10 times before you will comfortably buy something from them. Now, that doesn't mean you can be showed an ad 10 times on loop and then you'll buy something, but like in different forms, in different places, whether, you know, one be a personal referral, one be you see a store prominent, a product prominently placed in a store, another review of a product on a website, a fourth, somebody talking about that product, maybe an Instagram placement ad or something like that. Like, you need to see a brand up to 10 times before you actually legitimately, truly believe that they're legit and you might buy something from them. So a lot of marketing and a lot of, you know, ad spend out there is not actually with the mindset of like, okay, I spend $1 and I get 2 back. You know, brand awareness is very, very, very difficult to, you know, define and calculate. Which is unfortunately why big companies out there that separate their marketing and their accounting into 2 separate departments will always be at wars with each other. Because one doesn't see the point for the other. But, you know, a business doesn't operate if it doesn't have a product to sell. And there's no point having a product to sell if you don't market it. But you can't market if you don't have a, you know, it's all, you know, they're all connected. They all have their place. But yeah, spending money on marketing something is very difficult to tie it back sometimes to, you know, direct revenue generated. It was easier back in the early days of like just Facebook ads. You could sell any old shit on Facebook and you could, you know, you'd spend $5 and you'd make $7. I did a lot of that 10, 15 years ago. It just doesn't work anymore. Because fun fact, I wasn't always abusing the economy in World of Warcraft.
I do so enjoy a good scroll. It is about the journey, not the destination.
Why will you not let me? There we go.
Oh, my
Have
back
some
is
rep,
killing.
Tocker boy.
Have anything ancient to trade?
Have your
Needs
dirty
to be at
darters.
least 2 centuries old. Have anything ancient to trade? Needs to be at least 2 centuries old.
There we go. There's our 400 rep for the day. I'm yet to find more of the fishing treasures, actually. Did you see Ludwig's streamer university classes? They were pretty insightful. I didn't. I heard that. I know of the. I know of it. I know what you're referring to. To somebody outside of the industry, yeah, they're probably like, oh, okay, that's how they make their money. But quite much of it, I think, a good 95% of it, I think I could have, you know, I could predict or write ahead of time. I don't think it would be too much news to me. But then again, I think I'm far more tuned in to how the internet works from this perspective. I see some creators that have absolutely no idea how they make money. And are just like bumbling through their day, somehow magically making a 5-figure salary every month. And then you suddenly realize that, hang on, there's like they have a manager and they have an editor and they have a social media dude that is literally 3 individual people that has just made that person, you know, quote unquote famous. But the person in question has flipping no idea what's going on. Although I've never really watched Ludwig or any of his content particularly, but he does seem to be one of the more switched on creators about how the industry works. The premise of that he got into it with like, right, I'm just gonna blast this for 5 years and then peace out. I think he probably would have done if he hadn't risen to the top quite so well. The reality is when he's now making like probably the best part of 20+ million a year, it would be nice to peace out, but maybe 5 years more, you know, maybe a few more years, you know. If he hadn't quite risen to the 0.1% of content creators and, you know, was making a more modest, let's say 100k a year, he might have genuinely peaced out after 5 years and gone and done something else, but I was checking the Drop Frames podcast, the 3 big veterans, they all said that they learnt some stuff. I think it's the high profile streamers that have other views that are good to know. Yeah, streamers are definitely a different breed to like YouTube content creators. The ceiling for opportunity is higher over on YouTube, but the path to success is way more deterministic via streaming. There is a bit of a formula to just be really big at streaming. And it's a formula that is not too difficult to break into. You do kind of have to sell a little bit of your soul to do it, though. That's the problem. There's not many streamers out there anymore that can rise to stardom without doing, like, the formula. You are never going to get humongous in streaming anymore unless you do some serious collaboration. There's not that many lyrics or Quinn 69s. There's not that many people that can just hard hustle and make it to the top anymore, because that market's already dominated by people that have already done it. It's why the streamer university theory works quite well. It's quite disheartening to know that if you have 3 viewers, you're in the top 1% of Twitch. There's a humongous amount of people that stream on this platform to literally nobody. With the assumption that they're just waiting, you know, they just need that moment to be found. They just need that one raid. And it doesn't work that way. I mean, I found out that there's only about, I think it was 14,000 partnered streamers, which seems like a very small number considering how long streaming's been popular. But not knowing why something works is as bad as not knowing why something is broken. When it breaks, you not know how to fix it. Reading what I've written above, and if English was not my native, I'd have had a stroke reading my own message. I get what you. I get your point. I'll put 2 and 2 together. I get your point. Yeah. Yeah, knowing how to fix something is often better than just knowing how it works in the first place. I have the difficulty of that I kind of know what I would need to do to, like, grow and get big in streaming. I'm just almost not... I both don't really want to do what is needed, and I'm also not particularly too willing to. And I'm also not comfortable with a lot of what it takes to become big on this platform. I'm quite content with having a small audience that turns up regularly. And I'm also quite content with keeping that whilst also maintaining, you know, my moral compass pointing in the right direction. Right, we've got some bonus fish that should help us for tomorrow. Let's, I think we're going to go back downstairs and farm some coins. Anyone want to put a group together to just, like, death ball in a loop for a while? Because I reckon you can do 10,000 coins an hour, you know. I reckon 10,000 coins an hour is not outside of achievable. It's difficult. I think it's going to be difficult if you're actually doing the events, because you actually only get like 200-300 coins doing the events. Just killing as much as you possibly can, as quickly as you can, seems like far more of the play. The, maybe not necessarily 2x4 style killing it, but just like a group of 5 reasonably geared people, just face rolling everything they come across. Did you finish all the M0s? I haven't done any M0s, actually. M0s dishing out. There's a few pieces of champion gear, I guess, to be had from M0s, aren't there? You can level the house up farming coins too? Eh? How's that work? Oh, if you pick if you pick the new endeavor, does it give you XP with your house when picking up coins? With how much is involved in the zone meta, directly farming the coins feels kind of moot. Do I need to go make sure we got the right endeavour switched on in the neighbourhood then? Oh, 24 seconds till an incursion. I should maybe do this and then I'll... Remind me in a second after this incursion. The incursion and the final boss are worth killing. Because they're about 350 coins apiece. Oh. Okay, the incursion isn't on. It lied. Or is it? Oh, that's just a temple strike. Okay. Maybe I do need to go put the... Maybe I do need to make sure we got the right... Goblington Palace has the right endeavour switched on. Repeatable task that gives XP for every 100 coins. Johnson spamming the crap out of it. I mean, we need some of that. We need some of that. What? Give me the juice. What endeavour do we need? I'm quite sure it's been long enough since I've switched on the last endeavour that I should just be able to pick a new one. I always forget to switch them on, and people shout at me.
Good vibrations today. Spread the good word.
Oh, there is literally no choice. Pick an endeavour. Corrosive Collector, I think it's called. My house has gone from level 7 to 11. Ah! Well, I don't have any choice but knock off Amani, so I guess this is it, right?
We'll leave a light on.
I tried to link the guild to a Discord channel, because that's a new thing, but I tried it the other day and it didn't work. I'm not going to do it on stream because I can't remember if it flashes up anything it shouldn't do on stream, but I will get that fixed because I think that'd be very helpful. Collect corrosive coins in the coiled isle. 25 house experience, 5 adventure miscrests, 5 community coupons. Okay, sure. GG. Let's go spam the shit out of coins for a while then. Where is the portal out of curiosity? Coiled Isle. Oh, straight to the Coiled Isle. Look. Boom. Oh, that's going to take me upstairs, though, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, that takes me upstairs. Can I... No. Okay. Alright, well, we'll go back downstairs then. That's handy all the same.
Welcome.
Yeah, the stupid meta achievement for the zone is kind of bananas. It does kind of mean you have to do a lot of random stuff, but I had a little bit of a poke around with it. Salt the Vault, this is the one. A little poke around on this, and it does kind of look like we can't do half of it anyway.
Children of Ulatek must not
Roll the
reinforce their
patrol,
line.
complete the following
Spear them out of the
patrols.
skies.
Like, I've done a lot of patrols. Well, I think I've done 40 patrols already. And to say I've only done 6 out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... 6 out of, like, the... Or 5 out of the 12 or something here. I'm going to have a bit of a suspicion that these are on rotation on a weekly basis. To make it feel fresh next week, you know. But I might not have. What else we got? Spike the strike. Complete the following strikes. I've done 3 of them, and I have never seen the... I've done the others on the PTR. I remember the Purifying Earth and Sky one, but I've yet to ever see it. So I'm wondering if only some of it can actually be done. Let's do some quick zooms and try and get credit for this one.
Have anything ancient to trade? Needs to be.
And I get there before it gets there. It's a 3-week rotation given that there are 3 zone bosses. Oh, that would make sense. That would make sense. Well, I'm still going to probably go by the mindset of blasting it as much as I can this week. Though it will then mean that we just have to turn up for an afternoon next week and the week after, maybe, for the purpose of the achievements. Sneaky Blizz, knowing full well exactly what the player base are going to do. And are like, no, 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 no. You must not have all of your fun in one week. You must not. We really should kill all of this. This is the juice right here. This one pack is probably worth more coins for me than completing the entire event. Pet's dead. I'm dead. Oh, I'd love to fly in here, you know, naturally. The fact that you only get to experience flight when you're dead. Let's loot. Oh. Ah, then also didn't get any loot from any of that lot. It's gamazed.
I'm listening, my friend.
Right, let's nuke this dude down. Oh, my ability to quickly join the groups for these quests. I deliberately didn't hand these in because I still had the little icon to easily join groups. Ah, come on, game. Gamer trying to do gamer things over here, making it difficult for me. I mean, I might as well just hand them in then. I mean, I know you can obviously jump into these and you can find groups, and you can. These are all auto join groups. Tag on you, you're purple. 200 coins just from trash. Have I got 50% more? 75% more? I think I've got 50% more coins dropping now. You're looking at my coin numbers and wondering why. Once you unlock a handful of them, your bar at the top goes up and you get more coin drops. I think I'm up to needing like 6, maybe 7,000 coins per point now as well, which is starting to get a little bit silly. I'm not looking for, like, I thought my napkin math going into this was that, oh, they just grow by. Oh, I love that invite, by the way. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't loot the flipping boss. Ah! I didn't loot the boss in the last one. Lol. Whoops. I'll loot it and then quickly drop group and hope it's still there. Yeah, my napkin math was that they probably rise by... Thank you very much for the group. I'm going to try and quickly... Ah, it didn't phase me back to my home realm. Oh well. I was hoping I'd be... I did a boo-boo there. This seems to be an active layer anyway. That's a good point. Well, it wouldn't go to the mailbox until it despawns. I think I've just got sold auctions in there. Oh, Venom Sack. It does go to the mailbox. I'll take it. Might as well take all that gold as well. Nice. Yeah, at least we're going to have, you know, a pretty stable, near veteran set all round to start the season off. I mean, I don't think there is a heroic mode for this. There wasn't a heroic mode or any indication of a heroic mode on the PTR. It just is what it is.
Good to see you again.
I mean, the thing that will make a significant difference is that, you know, we're running around in, like, adventurous slash veteran gear. You've got some good gear from last season, like fully bisque gear from last season. Maybe you're sort of on the lower end of champion geared. Give it 6 weeks when everybody's running around in full mythic gear, then, you know, this whole place will just fall apart, but... I might as well just hand these in if I can't cheese them for the easy grouping.
You got orders, Hashura? Oraka, friend of Halazi. Bright-eyed shadow, bless your hunt. It is an honor to battle beside you. The bite of the Lex Loa protect you.
$3.4 coins. What's my target for the next unlock? 6 or 7k coins.
My magic is
7,000 coins. Sheesh. Okay.
May you always find victory.
7,000 coins. Where's that going to go? You can make offerings to shrines that establish a temporary area of safety. Sounds pretty boring, doesn't it? You can find venom wards that protect nearby allies. Also seems pretty boring. Your venom wards increase allies. So, yeah, nothing else benefits me anymore. Rally ghost allies with you at cursed surges. Well, that's upstairs business. That doesn't help me get more coins. Spirits watch over you whilst outside the vaults, immediately recovering you from death. Ha! The irony that that's probably pretty useful for me. You can find additional spirit wing feathers that will lift you to great heights. Boring. Reveal additional spirit wing gusts that let you leap great distances. Also kind of boring. Damage dealt to eggs increases by 100%. Your damage taken from bursts is reduced by 70%. Also boring. The irony is I'm actually kind of at the point now where none of this matters. So, all this does is help my allies and not me. The only one that benefits me slightly maybe is when we're upstairs doing surges. But downstairs it's kind of like, you know, little bit more mobility. Just don't shoot the eggs. Duh. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll tick as many boxes as we can, but it's nice to know that I don't actually have to worry too much about completing it. Do I put a group together, or do I just harvest what's already here? Is there enough people that are also one in on this, or do I just dive into a big raid group like this just for the layer hopping? Another incursion. Alright, we'll sit in this one for a minute. Not only is it another incursion, it's one that's nearly finished. Get the tag on the purple dude. Look at the amount of people that have clearly got nothing to do with their day. Oh my god. Terminally unemployed, the lawyer. I say that in the nicest possible way. If you are legitimately terminally unemployed, I apologise. Maybe it's just all Twitch streams.
Have anything ancient to trade? Needs to be at least 2 centuries old.
Jesus, they've come down in price.
If you find anything exotic,
Quick, get the tag! Ah, rip frame rates! I never liked having frames anyway. I'm sure there's some loot in here somewhere. But luckily, Pet fetches things for me. Down to the boss.
Sit down with me. Let me tell you a story.
Do some online training whilst watching the stream, whilst playing the game, whilst drinking coffee. That is a combo. That is the combo. Gear wise on this dude, I'm doing alright. I need a new belt, to be fair. My adventurer belt is a little bit could do with a swap of runes. But But apart from that, I'm doing alright on the gear so far. I haven't done any M0s. Which I probably should do, but... I mean, that's something I guess we could do. We could blast out some M0s, I suppose. And when I say blast out, I mean get carried like a buffoon. I just find it so funny. They instanced the world boss for this exact reason. And then they were like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to drop a world boss down every 15 minutes. Oh, okay. At this point, I don't know what I need to do to try and get some frame rate in this game, honestly. I'm not buying a 5090 just to try and get 15 FPS. Any chatter on new graphics cards on the horizon yet? Or is this Rampocalypse going to delay that whole process? Surely we should be starting to get the rumours of a new series of 6, you know, the next series, right? It's every 2 years, I thought. Wonder if we leave the party that there's another one going. Oh, no, there isn't another one going. I've just spawned into lots of unfriendlies. $5090s are just going to get incremental updates. You think they'll do like a TI version of it or something instead of like a whole new range? Or do you reckon Nvidia's just bored of selling consumer graphics cards now and are just going to use all of their silicon for AI chips instead? 50 series will be the last range of like truly consumer cards. 5090 is currently a bit above my budget, listed at 135% of its original MSRP. Is that how much they are? No way. Wait, hang on. Do you mean like a 35% markup, or do you legitimately mean like 135? Because they were two and a half large at launch, I think, was the MSRP. 2.5 was MSRP on one, I think. Aren't 5090s like 8K now? I don't even know. I nearly fell off my chair when I saw how much the RAM was last time I looked. I don't think I want to do this, do I? How much is a 5090 these days? You what? €4,500 for a 5090? €4,700 for a single graphics card? Are you mad? What the Christ on a bicycle happened there? You weren't joking when you meant 135% of MSRP. Oh my god. Can I show this without it doxing my address? No, I can't, unfortunately. Alright, alright. Oh my god. Well, well, well. Yo, I should have bought two 5090s, kept one, and then sold the other and paid for both of them. Damn. Holy smokes. I mean, it doesn't matter what they list them at. There's none in stock. They just don't exist. Flipping hell's bells. The mobile Asus ROG XG Mobile 5090 is $3,000. But that's going to be voltage limited, so while it claims it's a 5090, it's probably got the performance of like less than a 5080. Oh my god. Well, well, well. Ah! Sure. World is bust, isn't it? It's actually broken. PC gaming's cooked. AMD have actually downgraded from GDDR6 down to GDDR5 because of the prices. World's going backwards. It legitimately is going backwards. It doesn't make any sense. Just checked a 5090, 6.5k in dollars in my local shop. That is actually outrageous. Well, well, well. Let's touch everything that's made of wood that my graphics card lasts me a few years and doesn't crash and burn. The new motherboards that are launching on the AM4 platform are going to use DDR4? Really? Jesus. All because one sad old man who thinks he looks good in leather trousers wants more money, yeah. Yeah, in his snakeskin coats. On the plus side, devs are now optimizing for low RAM numbers. I mean they go, ain't they? You got to remortgage your house to get more than 8 gig of RAM these days. It's banana. You seen all the new phones that are coming out that have all gone from 16 gig down to 12 gig and hoping nobody notices? Like, damn. World's gone mad. Is there legitimately an incursion up, or is this the tail end of another group? This looks like the tail end of another group, doesn't it? Although the underbelly's up.
I'm listening, my friend.
The underbelly's a good farm for 5 minutes. B450 motherboards in 2026. Oh, let me see. Let me see. I could do with upgrading the bare bones. I need a bare bones build for my second PC. Then I could, in theory, properly go like streaming PC, gaming PC. But then we might get some frame rate occasionally. But a bare bones needs to be a cheap old motherboard and probably some DDR4 RAM. And a 2-generation old CPU. They're doing new B450s that use DDR4. That could be a win. Can you fish for the new rare snakehead fish in every water in the new zone, or is it just from the poison waters? You're 99% best off doing it with a lure. Without a lure, you basically don't ever see them. But otherwise, yeah, you can do it anywhere.
Good to see you
Yeah.
again.
Right, I got a bit of a... This is going to be odd for anybody outside the UK. I got me a flump. Yeah, boy. Nothing beats a flump. Flump and a cup of coffee. Mm-mm. You want to see something incredibly erotic? Oh, look at that! Look at that bad boy! Yeah, look at it go! Woo! Mmm. Oh, flump dust. Flump dust. It's just a marshmallow. That's all it is. For any of my non-Brits. If I was in the game of clip farming, I could have done so much with that, but... Yeah, it's just a marshmallow. But in the UK, we know them as flumps. Dear Lord, it looked like a tapeworm. Hey, if you swallowed it whole, it'd feel like one too. Mmm. They're dusty though. Only in the UK could they get away with selling one individually wrapped marshmallow and probably charging you full price for it. But it was it was in the goodie bag, my goodie bag of treats my sister brought me. She knows me well. And yes, Manthe has a sister. She's just as beautiful as I am. Right, turn that in. Oh, no, wait, hang on. I didn't bring anything back to turn in. Whoops. Alright, everybody else did it. It's fine. I'm getting flump dust all over my microphone. When you wait 45 minutes, then it doesn't count. What, have you been doing one of the curse surges? I tell you what, some of these achievements to do like 300 curse surges, like, it's just going to attract multi-boxers in droves. If you can get, if you can get 5 done, you can get 5 credit points in one go. You're just going to have some Giga Chad with 32 accounts turn up. Get that achievement done in a day. And I got a load of goodie bags here. We get... Oh, I actually got a bow. Oh, this is interesting. I might upgrade that now. I was waiting for a bow. That'll upgrade further than my crafted one for now. What 6 of 6 veteran? Or is 6 of 6 veteran 295? Those marshmallows are sold at the market in 50cm lengths. Yeah, you can get like real long ones, yeah. Right, I need to remember not to peace out of this group instantly, because otherwise I get left in a world of hurt on some layer that hasn't got an incursion up. Surges are every 45 minutes, I believe. I wouldn't set your clock by them, but they're more than one an hour. Although there has been copious amounts of feedback that they're way too piston slow. A few people in the creator Discord have been like, 45 minutes is taking the piss. So I wouldn't be too surprised if they speed them up to like every 15 minutes. The difficulty is you don't want them to be so quick that you just feel as if it's not worth doing anything in between. There's that kiss curse of them being like a little bit too fast. Because otherwise you will like, if there's only 10 minutes, you know, if it takes 5 minutes to do and then there's 10 minutes between them, 10 minutes isn't really long enough to go off and do something else. Which will just incentivize people to chain them and then do nothing in between and twiddle their thumbs, and then that actually makes the 15 minutes feel like grim. Knowing there's 45 minutes between them right now, you can go off and you can run a dungeon, or you can do a delve, or you can get some of your dailies done, or you can log on to another character and work on those. Like, it's like, I do think 45 minutes is too slow if you're looking to do nothing but, you know, that one quest where you have to do 3. If you're just trying to complete that quest and you're not focused on doing anything else, yeah, I think probably 45 minutes is too slow, but maybe every half an hour would be kind of the happy medium where you could do one and then feel as if there's enough time between them to go and do something else rather than just twiddle your thumbs for 10 minutes. I do think 45 minutes between them is too slow. We can leave this group though now. See if we can find another one. Why are you not auto? Oh, you are auto. Aha, there we go. Aha, big dude. On me way. On me way. Less dots. Patch is out for 2 days. Give it some time. You still have half a year to do it. I understand that mentality, and I do agree with you. But on the flip side, I don't want it to take half a year. That's kind of my point with this sort of content. This is mostly filler content, and it's something that I do just want to blast it for a week and then not think about it. It dead. I appreciate the invite. I appreciate the efforts. Thank you, thank you. I'll go back to my waiting spot. Yeah, I don't... This is my thing with time gating. When I play a game and when I'm hooked on playing a game, I want to do it. And I don't want artificial walls put in front of me from doing it. I would like to... You know, if I'm gonna blast something, I want to blast it. I don't want something that's gonna take me 6 months to complete. That just feels painful. Okay, this one will do. Is it on purpose that the world quest and the coiled iron don't give gear, just Marl? I don't know, I hadn't noticed that actually. I noticed a lot of the world quests just straight raw gold. I think it's because gearing is... I think the world quests in the other zones have been lifted, but I also think there's going to be... There's so many treasures on anything other than a completely dead. It's good for goblins. It's good for farmers. I think anything like they've really ramped up the amount of BOEs you get this patch. I think. And I do think if your item level is too high, they probably default to gold. I think that's a good point, yeah. Which is what you want. Like, nobody want, you know, somebody'd rather have 750 gold than a BOE that's going to sit in their bags before they vendor it for 50 gold, you know. Insidious Venom gives 3,000 plus crit for 12 seconds. This one should definitely be chosen from the Codex altar. Oh, okay. People are starting to figure out what the BIS or the preferred unlocks are. Interesting. Where was that quoted from? Is that from some sort of guide somewhere? Oh, shit. All of this is spawning. Oh. Run away. What are we doing with this thing? Am I meant to be able to click this somehow? Oh yeah, we're still missing the last staff. We need somebody to bring the last one over. Oh, they're working on it. They got this. I made the mistake of picking two whatchamacallsums. And Grifter's Token of Appreciation. Grifter may generously give one of these as a reward for completing an endeavor task. Nobody cares. Wield the Flames of Jin Ali, dealing a bunch of fire damage to targets in a cone in front of the caster every half a second for 4 seconds. May walk whilst casting. Sounds like an interesting one. I get flooded with Season 2 trinkets, you know.
We fight for the Amani. All of them.
Give me the feather. Give me the feather. What are we up to? 5.6k. What did I say we had to get to? 7? I think I had to get to 7, didn't I? The next milestone, at least, anyway. I haven't tested, actually, if you can get the corrosive things on your alts to slowly unlock, or to more quickly unlock different options. We've only had enough of the... Can't remember the name of all these flipping currencies. We've only had enough corrosive souls so far to unlock 2 of the perks. But I'm wondering if alts can do it to unlock more. Coin unlocks are account wide, but the souls are not. Oh, okay, is that how it works? So if you've already picked your 2 and they're the wrong 2, you'll just shit out of luck. Luckily it doesn't matter this week. Nuke this dude. Get him dead. Both Surges and the Underbelly bosses have a low chance to drop them. Is that maybe why I've got a bonus couple lying around? That could be why I've got some spares. Shadow Shard Sliver. Flat Haste buff. Dawn Crystal Market, by the way, is going to go absolutely flipping bananas, isn't it, this week? Like, all this veteran gear knocking about. There's just going to be epics all over the shop. Now, of course, it does require enchanters to be good at disenchanting to get them at high quality still, so there's still a bit of a hope, but supply, if nothing else, is going to go through the roof. Hardly to be expected, though. Oh, loads of options. Hello. That's on my realm. You're not on my realm. Phase. Eyes. Is the next incursion going to be after this strike, though? Doesn't say so. It's lies. Taran Mill. Hello, auto accept. Sergeant Dawn. Tier 2 crystals have dropped 200 gold over on NA. Yeah, I suspect you will probably see a similar. You don't want to let me in, then Storm Scale. Phase. This one was bugged to all hell yesterday. Or these guys just deliberately not letting more than 5 people into the group. Do the shoulder to shot. Hyjal, that's a new realm. Been being Hyjal for a while. Okay, you're already more than 6. That means it's auto invite. Hoppity hop. Incursion. Yoink. Love to see it. Fly wagon. Get over here without dying, that's the question. Hey fellas, let me in. Let me play. Absolutely nuked. Where's me coins? There's me coins. Oh my god, I'm getting real jittery about having 10 FPS the entire time though. It's a slideshow for me. I can't even begin to think what it looks like for you because you get all the artifacting as well. Why I try to avoid some of this when necessary, but needs must today. We just need a global ban on particle effects. just sack them off. Enough is enough, Blizzard. Enough is enough. Just get a tag on everything and I can loot it when it dies. Do you not enjoy lag? Do you guys not have graphics cards? You can turn off other people's spell effects, by the way. Interestingly, I don't think it makes a lot of difference, but yes, you are right, actually, and I should probably make sure I've got that option switched off for this sort of stuff. Because the lag, there's not a lot I can do about this lag because it's server-side, it's not client-side. I will double-check we have that switched off anyway. Where do you... What is it? Particle density is common for just ruining frame rates.
I'm listening, my friend.
Wait, why is there not the big boss up? Oh, there is a big boss up.
Sit down with me. Let me tell you a story from...
Why is it telling me about this stupid strike when there's a big dude up? Okay. Yeah, we're I mean, it's actually made my FPS go down, that has, believe it or not. That would be very typical Blizzard programming, that would be, wouldn't it? That actually the programming to take it off so that you don't see it actually sits on top of it existing in the first place. Therefore, you actually got double processing when you have it disabled. Because this is less than it was a minute ago. Which is fun, isn't it? Spell density is already on reduced. Essential. Nothing but the essentials, please, Blizzard. I mean, like I said, I know I'm pissing into the wind with this one because it's really got nothing to do with my PC. It's literally the fact that the servers just die. Like, my PC cannot show more frames than the server has information for. Yeah, it's just ripperoni, it's fine. We'll just have 10 FPS whilst killing a boss. See, as soon as people stop pressing buttons, it goes back to somewhat normal. I can play high-end games on Ultra, but when I play WoW, it struggles in a raid. Yeah. Yeah. I can play pretty much any other game in 4K, high-quality settings, the whole shebang. Maintain a solid 60 nearly in every other game, but WoW just crumbles. And there's nothing I can do about it. Apart from blast harder. Not going to switch out my set, even though... Or what? See, this is the difficulty. At what point does the set bonus get trumped by, like, just straight up 15 item levels? I mean, in theory, you're kind of meant to keep your old set until you get the new set, right? Isn't that sort of the rule? CPU do you have? 7900X, I think. I don't have the X3D one, before you ask. I don't have the pure optimal gaming one. Yeah, 7900X, I think. Plenty of cores, plenty of speed. That shouldn't be an issue. Dead. I mean, it's also it's a double problem on the basis that I stream at the same time. This is why I've muttered about doing this for quite some time, but it's slowly but surely coming to a point where I just have no option but to split off the stream and the gaming to separate machines. Because for some reason, and I can't for the life of me work out why this is, OBS will still steal 60 of my FPS whenever it's open. And it shouldn't do, because that's the whole point of the NVENC encoder. That it just rips... OBS just rips the image straight from the graphics card without any FPS issues, but it doesn't work. And I've yet to figure out why it doesn't work. Can I steal this now? How do we take this back and where do we take it to? What, this away? I'm definitely sure the amount of add-ons also doesn't help. But I'm aware there's nothing I can do about it. Not immediately, anyway. We're still waiting on the third staff to make its way over here, so can we not just nuke things while we wait? Bonus coins and all that. Clear the path, if nothing else. Yeah, this is why I tend to think, actually, doing coin farming in a group is probably the best, because so frequently in a raid, stuff dies, but you don't get to loot it because of the different loot rules. I think a group of 5 is probably the play. Organised group of 5 that just runs around and does everything. Big boss? Hello, why no big boss? There he is. The big boss is delayed. How's your mole looking after all of this farming? That's a good question, actually. Not as impressive as I'd have liked. I mean, the number is going up, but it's not gone up by much. We've a few thousand mile. Nothing really to report home about, unfortunately. Some of the spell effects have terrible shaders that tank your FPS. Some of the trinkets a few raids ago projected light. Yeah, that's never going to help, is it? Ah, well, this content's a means to an end anyway. We won't need to do too much of this. Oh, I don't look at my view counter very often, but 69, yo. Ah, it's 70 now. Somebody go away. I'm joking. I love you all. Even if you are the 70th. Who ruined it? Which one of you was it? You've just turned up. You're ruining all our fun. Oh, don't blast me into the goo. Oh, we've got 7.5k coins though now. That should be another. That's another upgrade, I think. I say upgrade. They're all a little bit meaningless at this point, but now I've gone down to 67. Some people took me literally. That should never be done. This I think I'll do. I'll go get an upgrade, and then we'll tinker with something else for a little bit. I don't feel like it's a smart thing for me to do the same thing on repeat all day. I'd might go look at spending some of these crests and upgrade a few bits and pieces now. I think I've got a wide enough selection of things. I can cherry pick a few items we can upgrade. Like I said, I don't know what the maths is on replacing my set. I've pretty much got a piece of veteran gear for every slot now, I think. But whether... or many in some cases. Whether 15 item levels is better than the set bonus or not, I don't even know. Don't have the new numbers yet, but the new zone is definitely BIS for farming lumber. Feels plentiful, the elevation is good, not that many guarded nodes. I'll play around in the zone at the weekend. Port numbers on the Discord. I appreciate it. Yeah, I had great suspicions that the zone would end up being the best one for farming lumber.
Good to see you again.
The only thing I couldn't tell from the PTR was whether it was just kind of like, you know, it was a bit PTR perks of like nobody else picking it up, but it seems to be that still nobody's picking it up and you can fly around and you've got an unlimited amount of trees to whack. Historically it used to be 20 item levels, so your set bonus was worth, a 4-piece set bonus was worth about 20 item levels. I mean, for the sake of simplicity, I might just swap it out, and even if it means I take a slight DPS downgrade, at least it then means I've got, like, all Season 2 gear, and, you know, I know where I stand.
My magic is
7,000 coins in the bin for 1 token. Where do we spend said token? You can find venom wards that protect nearby allies, or I can make offerings to shrines that establish a temporary area of safety. We need 1 point in here and then 2 points in here. Additional Spirit Wing feathers that will lift you to great heights. Reveal additional Spirit Wing gusts that let you leap great distances in the vault. I would like to test these, but you can't test these without... There's no undo button. I couldn't care less about eggs in any way, shape or form. And I don't think I care about Valley ghostly allies at Cursed Surges either, to be honest. So do I want to pick up shrines, or do I just want venom wards that protect allies? I mean, if we finish the outer ones, I suppose. But then this is just done, isn't it? And then 1 in here, 2 in here. And then these are very much kind of like fluff either way. These are the only ones that really have any tangible benefit to anybody specifically. The rest of these are fluff. Ah, 1 more point to get 75 coins. What's the damage on the next one? It's going to be like 9,000 coins or something. 8,000 coins! Oh my god. How many do we still need? What was that? How many? What number was that? 14. 6 more to go. 6 times at least 8 is. There's at least 50,000 coins still. At least 50,000 coins. Probably as many as 75,000 coins to get the last 6 points. All my days. Yeesh. Those buffs, though, the 50% buff on coins should, in theory, work all this is warband wide, so in theory, if I log on to my druid, it should I should be able to come and pick the same ones, right? Right, let's look at spending some crests. I think I want to upgrade my weapon. I'm also tempted to look at swapping out just every piece of gear for a veteran equivalent, even if it doesn't mathematically make sense from a DPS perspective. Just so then all of the Season 1 stuff I can just put away. It's done. Let's have a look.
I offer you my aid.
So, for example, I have what we got? I've got 2 Venom Cursed Longbow. Venom Cursed Longbow. Okay, I've got the same one twice. Same stats? Haste Mastery, Haste Mastery. But what's 6 of 6 veteran look like item level wise? 295. Oh, it's the same. Okay, so that's not going to make a difference. Have you gotten your 4 renown pieces of Season 2 stuff? What's that? Probably not. How far do we get with renown? What renown am I? 8? You may now find unfortunate scout satchels on the coiled isle. Oh, another tier of treasures that won't contain anything different to the tier before. Wearing champion wrist armor. Oh, okay. Renowned vendors have had their gear quests reset, so you can just fly around and pick up 4 veteran pieces. Oh, clever. Season 1 epics reroll. Ah, okay. I mean, I could and probably should just go get those anyway, shouldn't I? Crest upgrades count towards the Adventure of Dawn or whatever achievement for Season 2. That's a good point. Well, my braces, I can leave them be, because we'll get some champion braces, like, in 700 rep. So my braces are chilling. I don't need to worry about them anymore. The bow... Bow doesn't go... So 295 is as high as we can get with veteran gear. 295 on set items would be worth doing, wouldn't it? Because it'd be a 20 item level bump for the cost of losing the set. Maybe I'll spend me veteran tokens there somewhere. I upgrade these boots. How far do these go? 308, 6 of 6 champion boots. Is that worth doing? That would consume all of my champion crests to get 1 piece of gear. Are champion crests pretty much free spend? I get, like, serious paralysis, like, spending paralysis when I do this. 321 is going to be hero 6 of 6 when we get there. They did increase the cost of upgrading. Probably won't matter, though, until you get hero gear, though. Well, this is my thought. There'll be plenty of crests on offer. I'm just thinking whether it's... an item like my helm, for example. 276 helm. Can be swapped out with a veteran piece that will go all the way up to 295 if I upgrade it all the way. Which I think is probably a smart move.
How fare you?
60. Ah, if it costs 60 to get it to 6 out of 6. 6, 12, 18. I'm 10 veteran miscrests short of doing 3 full upgrades. My hero piece was a trinket. I got Void Reaper's Libram trinket. Which is acceptable. We'll keep that. General question, are you adjusting add-ons to fit your needs? I had to get Claude for work, so I threw it at Craft Sim and TSM last night to change things that were annoying me. Should get to work on some add-ons I wanted for a while. Oh, no, I am absolutely not adjusting and customizing add-ons in any way, shape, or form, no. If you do any extracurricular tinkering with add-ons, be aware that when they next update, it will probably override all of your tinkering. Right, well, I'm just going to do that. Because it's at least a significant upgrade. Now that I have lost the 4-piece set, what is another item? Legs? I got a new piece of legs that I can do the same to. Jack those up in stats. Bestial Wrath's direct damage is increased by 25%. I genuinely think that's probably pretty spicy. And that I probably don't want to change it out. Do I? Do I just want to go the whole shebang? I don't have enough to go the full whack. And get them both 4 of 6. They already are 4. Oh, hang on. Can I get these 4 of 6? These already are 4 of 6. Inch everything up, I suppose, using the veteran crests. I don't know. This isn't really making much of a difference. I'm squeezing out a couple of item levels, but the only thing I'm hoping this counts towards is making it cost maybe slightly less champion crests to upgrade the next tier of stuff. I can swap out the bow, can't I? And upgrade the bow for free. Think. Yeah. Where'd he go? Wait, where'd it go? Hello? Where did he go? Hey, have I lost the plot? What's going? Oh, there it is. Ah, it's grayed out because I can't upgrade it anymore. There we go.
Farewell.
Is that a season 2 piece of gear in every slot? Missing a ring. Just missing a ring. Veteran piece of gear at least in every slot apart from a ring. And belt. But I've run out of veteran crests to use. Haven't used my champion crests, but do I just YOLO send them on my champion piece of gear? Why would I not? Why would I not just YOLO send them? What do we get from Ophi's Cauldron? Not a lot. The rewards are pitiful, but you've got to do 10 different combinations of turn-ins for an achievement and a piece of decor. The new zone giving a shit ton of epics. Didn't expect the Dawn Crystal price to crash that hard. Well, everybody's farming coins and they're getting veteran pieces of gear from all angles. Look at my bags, just for one. Loads of people. Yeah, in other words, yeah, loads of epics. Every time you complete the event, you get an epic. Loads of stuff. I'm even getting like choices of trinkets. I've got so many veteran trinkets already. Do I not have anything better than this belt? That's my crafted one. Yeah, belt slot is the only one I'm missing. Do I have another ring? Is it just that I haven't equipped it? No, crafted and then adventurer gear. Adventure only goes to 282, so my equipped ring is still better. A ring and a belt, and I'm up to speed again. My bags look grim though.
Step closer and don't mumble. Not everything in the ocean is as good looking or nice.
Is everybody else left with randomly one of these, by the way? These Venom Cursed fragments. I don't entirely know where I got them from, but I've acquired 3 of them so far this week. But 3 is an odd number, and I'm wondering if that's by design. And like I said, I can't really remember where I got them from. They can drop from the incursion boss. I thought that was the souls. I thought that was the corrosive souls. These Venom Cursed fragments that you combine 2 of them to get a piece of champion gear. Yeah, it's just weird I've been left with like an odd number. I'm wondering if, like I said, if that's normal. Okay. Short of smashing my face against the keyboard farming up more coins, I might... Let me just double check, see what recipes we're missing. I might jump on the Druid and try some lumber farming in the new zone. Ah, I got them up 10 points. Yeah, I saw in the blue, I saw in the hot fixes, jewel crafters and tailors that had used the new knowledge point book got shafted. But they've retro added my points in. Yoink. Polished Amylite. This is a world drop. Does this mean it's on the auction house? How ungodly expensive is that one then? Recipes, jewel crafting, uncollected. Polished Amylite, not on the list. Interesting. Is that a recipe in a bottle job, do you think? No, if it's recipe in a bottle, it usually says recipe in a bottle. On the auction house. Second mate Suggs. So that's the... Yeah, coiled iron. That's rep. That's the fishing rep. Working on that one. Replica. That's an old one. That's on the auction house. There's the highborn statue. Roaring Marnie Garnet. This is a new one. Oh, there's another fishing one. We need 50 of those bad boys. Is that the middle size one? Is that the green one? I think that's the green one, isn't it? Lots of fishing for that one. Okay, what's leatherworking looking like? Dawn Fang is the raid recipe. Any Giga Chads pulled one of those out of a Moxie bag? Doesn't look like it. The Dawn Fang is one of the only recipes I think may possibly be in the Moxie bags. But Doesn't look like it. Do any of them exist anywhere? I mean, obviously I'm only looking at Draenor right now, but I tend to assume if it's going to be somewhere, it's Draenor. Not always the case, but... what was it called? Dawn Fang. Pattern Dawn Fang. It's been tagged as an item. Does that mean one existed at some point somewhere? No. Maybe they didn't put it in the loot table of the Moxie bags then. Because I can bet your ass there's a shitload of people who've opened Moxie bags in the last couple of days. Maybe that is just legitimately gonna have to wait till the raid. Rope Link's Harness is the bane of my life. Tier 6 ritual sites. One day. Axe Flinging Bands. That's an old one. That's a Delves one. So are both of these. Stretched Snakeskin Rack. I think I got this recipe. Interesting how they're not on the auction house anymore. Mounted Moby. I must have already sold one of these. Must have already sold one of these. Did I violently underprice it? Stretched Snakeskin Rack. Oh, there's loads of them. Fucking hundreds of them. 500 of them already across the EU. Why is there none on Draenor? How's that work? Yo, Mr. Goldson with the raid. Welcome in, boys and girls. Welcome in, welcome in. Oh my god, they're as cheap as like 2,000 gold a piece on like Russian Realm, to be fair. I mean, yeah, on the... Why is there just none on Draenor? How's that magically happened? Somebody come along and just bought all of them off Draenor. I don't know. Draenor. Oh, there's 19. They're like 14k a piece. Why is it not searching for it? Leatherworking uncollected. Why are they not showing in this list? Have they put half the recipes in some random ass group that's not in the recipes group? Oh. It's in the group, but it's not in the group. Well, that's dumb. Interesting. Apparently I haven't sold one of these. Wait, hang on. I've got one on the auction house. Why am I trying to sell one when I need it myself? We always learn the first. Cancel.
If you find anything exotic, bring it to me.
Learn the first, sell the second. Yoink. Bingo. Yeah, I mean... Cash money in some of these, look. 700 gold of materials. Currently listed for 20k. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. We got to do something pretty serious about this decor market, you know. It's genuinely... It feels like a monstrously untapped market. Regional sale average already at 37,000 gold on these. Seems like a monstrously untapped market. I've got 500 lumber just lying about. which isn't even enough to craft one of everything from Season 1, never mind all the Season 2 recipes. We need to get on this lumber like double time. Recipe in a bottle is just a low drop chance when you're fishing. Although there are cargo and treasure pools to where the chance is much higher from them. I hate the farm needed for the decor, also afraid of sitting on the crafts for years. It's like, like decor's Blizzard's new baby. It's not going anywhere. Like, there seems to be, considering just like, look at the alternative options, right? When you look at trying to mass craft anything on the and selling it on the region-wide auction house, if you look at the value in any of the armor kits, like if you look at drums, like any of the intermediate stuff, the single-digit margins in anything that goes anywhere near the auction house versus fantastic levels of profit for decor, but it might take you a little bit longer to sell the decor. You fix that problem by just having 200 items of decor on the auction house, and you'll get drip sales every single day. I'm convinced that it's the last remaining avenue that's worth exploring with the professions, to be honest. Pretty convinced of it. And the way to scale it is to cut out the farming completely and buy all the cheap shit that people list because they claim that decor's dead and just want to get rid of their stock, and then somebody buys it up and flips it and resells it. You can completely remove the you can 100% remove the need to do the farming for lumber if you just, you know, get somebody else to do it for you. GG. Is purging the vault gives the venom cursed fragment? Oh, okay. That's the quest. That's the weekly quest, I think, isn't it? Yeah. Is there currently an exploit regarding alloy crafting? The past couple of days, one Russian guy has posted 10,000 or more bars of gloaming and sterling alloys every day below crafting price. There's been various shenanigans. It's not so much an exploit, it's more of a case of just a monstrously large bot army. Is the conclusion that most people came to a couple of months ago when people started seeing it. And I wouldn't be too surprised if, due to it being a new patch, you know, they're spinning up their operation again. I haven't looked though. There's a good chance you're not too far wrong there though. Oh my god, look at my bags on this dude. These are not the bags you want to see on a character that's meant to be doing farming.
Greetings, sir, and or ma'am.
I should probably just nuke sell most of this rubbish. What gear we got on this dude? 262 gear. Means he's actually going to benefit from a lot of this. He's actually going to benefit from a lot of the veteran gear that can be snagged. Maybe meaning that the easy solution here is just purge sell everything that's not stuck down. But anything that's considered soulbound, just get it gone. Because it'll all be replaced with new stuff very quickly. Yeah, all of this just goes. These are old stuff that we don't need. Old midnight stuff. Dragon Isles gear. Probably not that needed, but I'll keep it anyway. Percival, we've got that one. Orby, we got that one. Got that one. Okay, that's all the soulbound stuff. What about the warbound gear? Sorry, I didn't mean to start cleaning out bags on this dude, but... Nobody wants any of this. What the hell are you? Silver coffer key. Already known. See you later. Alright, that's everything that's not physically locked down. That means the rest of it is BOEs. All this 192 shit, absolutely nobody needs. See you later. Same with the 198 tarnished stuff. 220s still in theory hold some value, but it's dead as a dodo. I might just sack off this lot now. 133s are the only BOEs I think I should be keeping about, really. These 220s are just going to fall into the category of fake value now, aren't they? But we'll save them all the same. Let me go put in the bank all of this old profession gear before I accidentally delete it.
Baladash Malanore.
How do you make the decor list like the one you would put up in December? Is that adding them one at a time, or is there an easier way? How do you make the decor list? More details. Are you looking to craft them? What are you looking to do? I don't know what list you're referring to. My suggestion for decor is collect all of the recipes or the sniper list. How did I make the list? Good question. It's in the Discord. Now that's everything pre-midnight. That doesn't contain any of the midnight stuff. Pre-midnight one's linked in the Discord in the housing channel. But everything else, midnight related, yeah, I think I just made it one by one, adding them to a group. Laborious, but I think it's a task you do once only. You're midnight and is never going to be used again, right? Because you've been updated, so just delete. Dragon Isles, Dragon Isles, Dragon Isles, Dragon Isles, Dragon Isles. Random stuff. That's better. You can live with random stuff in the bag, because I just don't want all of the past expansion gear that I'll accidentally sell. But with stuff getting added, I was hoping to learn a way beyond doing it by hand. I'm going to be honest, I think that's actually how I had to do it in the first place anyway, which was just to basically search for each item and then add it to the list, because you use a Auctionator shopping list as your sniper list. So, unfortunately, it is a manual task. Somebody got to do it once. For Thalassian fillets, do you just use the cheapest fish? I don't have data on this. My belief is yes, but without testing, I don't know if each fish is born equal when it comes to filleting. Maybe buy 1,000 of each or something and just do some quick napkin maths just to clarify if there's much of a difference between them. K-Chak's probably done a bit of testing on this for his spreadsheet, for his Patreons, but I'm not sure. I didn't do much cooking or stuff in Season 1. Oh, look, a whole bunch of housing dies. Lovely. I don't want any of them. I should just sell all of these mats, but in fact, I'm just going to put them in the war bank. They'll be useful for patron orders.
Make use of our coffers.
Warband. Deposit warbound item. No, I don't want to deposit all warbound items. I just want the materials.
May the
Okay.
eternal sun guide
Right. Little bit of a detour from what I was planning on doing, but we can now head over to the new zone with the Druid. Do some bits. Namely, I might do a cheeky little test on some lumber gathering in the new zone.
Sinew Aminore, with perseverance, strength. Glory to the Sindori.
Sure. Weekly quest out the way. I've not got epic gear on herbing or mining either, even on this toon yet. I've got enough fused vitality almost to get 1 out of the 2 professions. I got 56 fused vitality. I can probably get herbalism or mining done. But I don't think I've done either. I have got all blues, both professions, I think. It's going to be interesting to see if herbing and mining in the new zone has a bump in value, to be honest, with Season 2. I haven't even filled all of these out, though. I'm so far behind. I got catch-up points up the fucking wazoo, I think, for herbing and mining. Yeah. 170 and 216 catch-up points. Oh my god. Oh, I can go get 10 points for free, though, I suppose. Not stepped into abundance since week 1. Well, whenever you get... I now have a basic rule of that when I get 6 shards via just accidentally getting them, I'll then convert those, or then I'll use the toy, go do 1 run, you know. So I'll just do it when I get the shards now, but I don't go out my way to try and do it. That's that feels like crazy talk. I don't need anything else other than to go to the new zone now. In that case, if you haven't figured this trick out already, there's a portal in your neighborhood to the new zone. You got to kind of portal hop a little bit, but it's quicker than flying there normally. As of next week, I think the prey system provides you a portal to the new zone. Seems like a monstrous oversight that they expected everybody to just casually fly there, though. I mean, I know it's pretty much the height of lazy, but, you know, we said about this yesterday. It doesn't really, you know, you can't give people the luxury of fast transportation and then take it away from them. That's always going to feel bad.
See what you can cook up, huh?
Always going to feel bad. Alright, I think we should do like should we do just like a half-an-hour lumber blast just to see what's capable if we just try and ignore everything but lumber? I've cleared my bags out, so it's the prime opportunity to do it. We can put this up all the same. I think I have a value for... I think I have a value for Thalassian lumber, but it's not based on much science. 200 gold is my rough napkin maths for the lumber, which currently based off the back of some jewel crafting calculation. So it's not exactly science, but if we just assume 200 gold-ish per piece of lumber, at least that's what my maths is doing. Let me grab a drink, pee break, and then we'll do a little bit of a lumber blast and see just what's possible. Give me 2 minutes, boys and girls. I'll be back in a couple. Hey, let's have a look. Losing a lot of frames on YouTube. Oh, okay. It's not on my side. It would probably be a YouTube or a U side. My side, it looks fine. Stream is healthy on YouTube. And I've not dropped any frames locally. Okay. Got to do... Let's reset this. How do we... new session. Hold shift. Go. Right, actually, turn off racking of herbs, minerals, just lumber. Don't want no distractions, no squirrels. Nothing but lumber. See what's feasible in, say, half hour. Without any route or planning or preparation, just sort of like, you know, getting in there and doing. Go away. I should probably also not pick up treasures, to be fair, but... Let's do a focused lumber farm for a minute. Get a ballpark number. get a ballpark number, then we can use that to rough out some ideas of what the play is long term. Do we pick up other stuff at the same time? Is it worth it, or is it more valuable to just like laser Zerg lumber? I cannot begin to voice how much I hate Fused Vitality, such a crap system. It's madness that they haven't put any form of catch-up in it, to be fair. It's like I was talking about this a little bit yesterday, so I don't want to go off, you know, I don't want to go down the rabbit hole again. But it's a clear indication to me that whoever's running or in charge of the professions at the moment clearly doesn't have any passion for it. Just absolutely 100% doesn't care for it, because it's all over the shop. Anybody that actually plays with the system would be like, this is just absolute dog shit. Like, there's no way it should have been pushed to be a thing. Not unless they absolutely hate themselves. Because seasons 2 is going to be really difficult. I've already encountered this a couple of times already. That, like with the new healing potion, for example, with alchemy, there were clearly and quite rightly some people that are trying to get the recipe and are trying to look to mass craft it. And my advice to them has already been that if you do not have a full set of epic tools from season 1, you're probably not even worth bothering. You know, it's probably not worth even trying to compete. Because you'll just get outnumbered by somebody that does. Sure, you might squeeze a little bit of profit for a day or two, but the reality is that that alchemist that has full epic gear from season 1 has more stats than you. It's not rocket science. They physically have more resourcefulness, more multicraft than you do. Therefore, they will muscle you out the market, if not straight away, but eventually. Which is wild. Is wild that the advice has to be on day 1 of season 2. The advice has to be, the correct logical advice is that if you do not have huge progress made from season 1, you're just shit out of luck. You've got... How long does it take you to get 60 fused vitality? 6 weeks? It basically means you've got 6 weeks before you can be on the same level as people that are starting on day 1. They got to do something to make the professions more seasonal. The rest of the game is seasonal. It's so weird that there's just this one final remaining system that apparently is meant to stretch the entire expansion. And it doesn't work like that, unfortunately. It's a good thought, but in reality, you're going to find people that will spend all this time trying to set up their alchemist and hustling and pushing and buy a bunch of materials, and then in 3 days' time, they'll be like, why the fuck is there no money in this? And it's because the market's being squeezed by somebody that's willing to take single-digit margins and has done all of the work from season 1 and has already recuperated the costs of doing everything, you know? It just seems entirely unfair that new recipes can be added to the game, yet simultaneously, without weeks and weeks of progress from the past season, just don't bother. I feel hard giving that advice to people, but I do genuinely feel it's the right advice to give. You're fighting a losing battle and it's not your fault. That's the difficulty. It's not your fault that you've turned up to try and play with professions in season 2 for a brand new patch, expecting it to be at least sort of fair. If you didn't farm knowledge points in season 1, you're shit out of luck as well. Well, yeah, I mean, even the catch-up system for that is less than useful. I don't know what the total number of knowledge points required is for Abyss build in Alchemy, but I'm going to go as far as to assume it's about 180. Which, first time crafts, plus knowledge books, plus a bit of hustle, you're still looking at 2 or 3 weeks, I'd imagine, from a fresh new alchemist before you would have the knowledge points. But it still doesn't make that much difference when you could be as much as 4 to 6 weeks away in terms of profession tools. Now, I've not run the numbers on the difference between the blue and the epic ones, but more is more. That, like, yes, there might be some difference, but we're talking about razor thin margins, so any more is always more. You can probably push 100 knowledge points in your first week, in your first reset. But I also worry about how much gold you'd have to throw at achieving that. I said I wasn't going to pick up treasures, didn't I? Skew my numbers. Serious crafters surely don't want to make it easier. That would reduce their profits. They've also disabled the quest for people under 90, meaning people with alt armies can't do the profession tools anymore. I think that's a bug. Considering the fact they jacked up the amount of XP you get for those quests in 1207, I'm pretty sure that sub 90s not being able to do the weekly things is just a bug that they'll get hot fixed. It's one of those, it'll probably need the weekly reset. It probably won't be hot fixable. It will be scuffed this week, but they'll fix it for next week, I'm sure. I don't think that was by design. I mean, it sucks if it is the design, but I don't think it's meant to be. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to make the system harder and more gate kept for the second season after everybody's already done it. Like, even I don't have that mean streak. That would be brutal. Threshold needs 2.5 weeks to get a tool without the abundance. Oh, by fishing and by weekly quests and whatever. Only 2.5 weeks? It feels like you need more than that. 3 from the anglers each week. Oh, I mean, I see. If you're doing the full shuffle, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Yeah, the cost implications of that though vastly outdo the benefit of it, I think. Even if it's just in terms of time, it's a real chore. But yeah, it's a thing. Yeah, it's not a very publicly known thing. Is a thing. Not sure there is any lumber on this island, but I should check it just for science. $10 minutes in, 10,000 gold worth of lumber, assuming you can get about 200 gold a piece for it. Tracking at about 60k an hour, just picking up lumber right now. Now, of course, I am only picking up lumber right now. You lucky treasure drops. You know, if you're willing to sell a few BOEs at the same time, could definitely supplement this. This is just a bit of early science. Bit of the flipping hell, is it? Let me put it this way, 60k an hour is pissing all over what's probably achievable via herbing and mining. I'm relatively safe in saying that 200 gold a piece for the lumber's quite a modest valuation. You send the orders from the alts for the cheapest thing that they can make. Leatherworking and jewel crafting is actually the only expensive one, and expensive only being 200. Oh, okay, so it's not that bad, is it? I kind of forget that everything is like everything's less than 5 gold already, which is wild. Just move the decor to an RP realm, and then it's 3 times the price. I mean, this is the thing I love about decor, and I am never have and never probably will be the biggest farmer. So the farming of the lumber is equal. I have the same bugbear that everybody else does. I don't particularly like farming the lumber, but the scalability option is there to not farm the lumber and just to flip it and then trade it region wide, which I've already seen monstrous amounts of success with doing. In terms of revenue, I've probably done about 50 million gold since Decor came out. Now, of course, that's not profit, but like, it's a pretty high profit margin. I've probably made 20 million gold in profit since Decor came out. And I've not even, you know, I only did it for like a month and a bit. My data's not, you know, totally up to speed, but... I keep finding ones that are inhabited by nasties.
Squash them.
CBA to farm it, way too boring, but flipped it for over 20 mil. Yeah, I mean, the market is there for it for sure. Whether you fall into the category of farm it and sell a modest amount of it yourself locally on 1 or 2 realms, or whether you go whether you open the floodgates to the cross-realm trading aspect of it, market's there. Where do you learn? Anybody can pick up lumber. You just need to get a... it's not a profession in itself. You need to get the axe from your neighborhood lumberjack dude. And then you just fly around and pick them up. That's one I tried to pick up a second ago. Even built my own flipping database in site. Didn't want to pay for services online, so you track the Blizzard API, see when to X and on what realm to sell it. AI then auto-generates a perfect TSM string for each item. We still seem to be tracking us pretty damn close to, what does it work out to be? Like 5 pieces of lumber a minute? Seems to be, I mean, if you ignore the valuation on it, quick napkin maths, about 5 pieces of lumber a minute. Obviously, sometimes we get a little bit luckier than others, but the law of averages for you. This area is going to be a bit difficult to get things. We're going to attract the locals. Let's go around the big island. My estimation on value for lumber of 200 gold is based on a bit of maths within the jewel crafting profession. It takes the jewel crafting crafted decor and it does some maths to calculate the average selling price of the jewel crafting decor. Then I take like a modest 20% off that value to account for the other materials that are needed. So it's not the most accurate number for the lumber, but it's a rough ballpark of what you can expect to get per piece of lumber. It's as accurate as I can quickly get it. And of course, by the time you craft stuff and sell stuff, you know, it's up to you if you take a bit of a discount to shift it faster or whatever you do. This will translate into, you know, 60,000 gold worth of stuff that you could then sell. I constantly see people claiming that decor doesn't sell, and I think it's just the same as transmog, that if you're on a busy realm and you're not hustling to sell it, you probably won't sell it. But if you're on a smaller server where there's less people, you probably don't need as much hustle to see steady sales. Has transmog-esque vibes to it when it comes to the selling of it, but stack it up, you'll see daily results from it. And as far as I'm concerned, it's far more reliable of a source of gold than any form of like mass crafting right now, because it doesn't really inherently come with much risk at all. You spend a bit of time farming the amount of lumber you need. You spend a very modest amount on some bonus extra materials to craft the items in the first place. Now, if you're going out there and you're spending 150,000 gold on a recipe, one single decor recipe, then that's on you, and that's probably not the way to do it. Recuperating those sorts of costs are for the pros. But the decor recipes you can get your hands on relatively easily. Trainer recipes, that sort of stuff. It has greater goal making potential than just flying around picking up herbs and ore. That's for sure. You're going to want to do it on the druid, though. If that's not been stated 5,000 times already. You absolutely don't want to be doing this on anything but a druid. I know you can farm lumber mounted on other classes, but there's so many opportunities of things that might dismount you. You are still best off just doing it on a druid. Even if you're like me and don't particularly enjoy playing the druid class. And at the moment, you could probably quite easily double this if you were to pick up the treasures along the way. You only, to be fair, at the moment, you only need to find yourself a couple of the 260 BOEs and you've doubled your hourly money. I'm just deliberately not picking up the treasures for this first test, just to keep the data a bit cleaner. But yeah, this zone is already way nicer for farming lumber than any of the original 4 zones. And this is without me doing any planning or route building or anything. Just just blasting around trying to find a tree. Much nicer. Once I figure out where all the nodes are and put together a little bit more of a route, you'd optimize the numbers a little bit as well. Learn to avoid ones where there's lots of creepy crawlies next to it, for example. Oh, it's up. Are you selling stuff now or waiting for Season 2 to start? I've got nothing to sell. I did no pre-planning or squirreling of mats or nothing. My advice would be sell when it's profitable. As of right, I mean, because it, you know, every material has different needs and demands and whatever. It's kind of difficult to give that generic overview. If you can sell something now for more than you bought it for, do it. Historically, the second week into the season is where you start to see things that are undersupplied start to dry up, and the prices of some things start to go in the direction that people want them to. But of course, that doesn't apply to every material generically across the board. Plus, the timing of that can differ depending on just how much of it people have squirreled away. Something like Majestic Hides is going to be an interesting one. Because Majestic Hides was so obvious of a thing to squirrel away. They're difficult to acquire quickly in bulk when they're needed, but there are windows where people want lots of them. Majestic Hides were aggressively manipulated in price in Season 1. People buying out, listing them like for hire all day. But for Season 2, it's going to be interesting to see just how many people had been farming Majestic Hides the entirety of Season 1, but not selling them, hoping that they'll go to 15k again in Season 2. Now, all of that stock will come out the woodwork if, you know, some shenanigans does happen. So my advice is pretty unanimous. If you can sell something for a price that A, you're either happy to sell it for, or B, for more than what you paid for it, do it. The more greedy you are, the greater the risk is of it bouncing back in the opposite direction. I felt like when the patch dropped, people just threw all of their stock up on the auction house. Every market went down. It does every time. Yeah, like that's just the amateur way of doing this. People that haven't put that haven't like really put their brain into gear to think about this for more than 2 minutes, or you've just got like complete novices to it. That's their first expansion or something. Everybody makes that mistake once, but yeah, it happens every single season. Day 1 of the season, some people just magically expect that all of a sudden everything sells for twice the price. I don't know where that logic comes from, because in my head it's so wrong it's not even funny. But it happens every time. Day 1 of the season, humongous amounts of stock gets dumped on the auction house, crashes the shit out of the price of everything. Anybody that's, you know, you always get a handful of people who will like be buying up a bunch of stock They'll buy up a bunch of things that they think is going to be worth more when the season's, like, when the patch launches, and it's the reason why in the real world some people make money investing and most people lose money. It's exactly the same in WoW. A lot of people forget that gold making in World of Warcraft, for one person to make a bunch of gold, somebody else has to either spend it or lose it. Very, very, very few people are content with just like raw gold farming and generating new gold so their gold goes up. 90% of people that make gold in this game are directly taking it from somebody else. Either because they're providing a product that somebody wants, or, you know, somebody else is buying their thing for more than they paid for it. It's a bit of a circle jerk, but stay ahead of it, you end up making more gold than you spend. And if you don't stay ahead of it, you end up being one of the many, many, many thousands of people that try and make gold in this game and then end up actually losing more than they make. In a way, generating new gold makes your gold less valuable. I mean, yeah, if you take the true definition of inflation, yeah. More gold in the system makes your gold worth less. That's a conundrum that Blizzard tends to have. That's really the only thing that Blizzard tries to control. For the pros, you mean like buying the Lariat recipe for 100k, then learning it accidentally on a Friday night and crafting it only once? Hey. It's a good necklace though, right? You've still got a recipe that I don't. I've got 99% of all Dawn crafting recipes ever. That one evades me. How do you know which decor is valuable? Don't worry about it. Craft it. Sell it for more than it costs you to craft. Recraft the stuff you sell. Yeah. Don't worry about it. Spend less time worrying about which ones are valuable and which ones not, and more time farming the lumber. Because you kind of have... The lumber is your bottleneck. And the lumber will always be your bottleneck until you start flipping decor. So for as long as you're farming decor, farming the lumber, sorry, just craft one of everything and keep it up on the auction house for a price that you're happy to sell it for. And eventually you'll end up with everything crafted, and all you need to recraft is the stuff that you've sold. And if everything you sell it for a price that you're happy to sell it at, that problem goes away and it figures itself out. It's much like transmog. It's like when people say, well, what transmog is valuable and stuff. It's such a subjective market. Everybody's going to be building their house. Everybody's going to be building their house in a different way. Some people will want 15 of a certain fence and somebody won't like it at all. Like, you know, it's... And that's where it differs from transmog, actually, in the fact that people might actually purchase multiple of a certain thing as well. If you start to notice that, you know, every time you make a chair, it sells really quickly, and there's never seemingly enough of said chair on the auction house, then maybe make 2 or 3 of the chairs, because maybe somebody's buying 4 of them to put round a table. Assuming you have the lumber to facilitate it. I've done half an hour though now. I've gone a little bit over my timer. I only wanted to do a half an hour to get some napkin maths. 27,000 gold worth of lumber, valuing it at 200 gold a piece. A little over 50k in just straight lumber value. 135 in that half an hour, so 270 an hour is feasible. Drop it down to 250, just, you know, because not every half an hour will be as lucrative, I'm sure. Once again, though, it puts it in line with everything else. 200 to 250 lumber an hour, like, comfortably, means you can kind of pad you can kind of pad the value a little bit by also picking up treasures at the moment. You can pick up the treasures. If you can pick up the treasures quickly without getting dismounted as well, another reason to be a druid, by the way. Now picking up the treasures as well, the occasional rare BOE could quite easily double your hourly value, I'd imagine, at the moment. But that's, you know, for as long as they're worth something still. We're on like day 3 of the patch, aren't we? So but yeah, 250 lumber an hour seems more than possible again, which was not impossible to do in the previous midnight zones, but was far more annoying to do. No stress doing this lap. No stress. Aha, somebody's listening. I don't actually think the 260 and 266 BOEs will hold their value particularly well this season. I don't think they'll hold their value as well as the 220 BOEs did. And it's mostly down to the fact that there is just so many goddamn treasures on this island. It's outrageous. They've turned the treasures up to flipping 11. There is so many of them. It's not like flying up and down the coast in Zulaman where you know, there was a handful and then it took 20 minutes for them to spawn. These ones seem to be on just flipping hyperactive mode. Which unfortunately will probably have the effect that, you know, the value of the treasures will flop pretty quick, but hey, it's easy catch-up gear for people at least, eh? That said, the above side of this zone is going to leave people with not a lot to do very, very quickly. The upstairs part of this zone is going to be absolutely barren within about a week, I can tell you that. I missed tackle box farming from Dragonflight. That was great gold, especially if you multi-boxed it. Tackle box farming. I went out of my way to switch off ever seeing the tackle boxes. They drove me insane. That in a cave or something? We're not pissing around hunting ones in caves. I'm now wombo comboing a bit of treasure picking up with the lumbering just to see how that sort of changes up the mix a little bit. It's going to be entirely predicated on us getting a couple of like valuable blue BOEs. The rest of the treasures are going to just be a waste of time. Potions and Marl doesn't make anybody rich. And actually, if your goal is to like craft lumber, your goal is to craft decor, then you're probably quite quickly going to ignore all of these treasures. But where's the lumber? Gone. Don't aggro, don't aggro, don't aggro. Get out of it. Grays sold for a fair amount, and multi-boxing it, you could still get 50 to 70k an hour. $160 mil. That was a one-time treasure, though. Unless people are forced to do the curse surges for their weekly sparks. I mean, that will definitely keep people top side of the map a bit, yeah. I don't think this season's going to be any different. I genuinely think that the look and the feel of this patch in 2 weeks' time will be very different to how it's launched. It seems to happen every time now that Blizzard end up tweaking and rebalancing a bunch of stuff after everybody's like, this is too fast and this is too slow and this is boring, and the constructive feedback comes flooding in, because there ain't none of that from the PTR these days, is there? Very, very few people spend any time at all on the PTR, it seems. Blue crafted gear is also dead with those world drops. I mean, the blue crafted gear, you also have to throw your veteran crests at them, which is another thing that kind of is a finite resource. So it's kind of like, I've long since thought that it was a shame that they've taken crafted, like, we have dedicated gear crafting professions now, or we always have, but like blacksmithing, tailoring, leatherworking, and I've long since thought that they're basically surplus to requirement after the first 10 minutes of an expansion now. Unless you're willing to play Checkout Monkey crafting the endgame gear for people. But that's kind of like, that's, you know, I've never been a fan of suggesting people try and do more work orders, because, well, you can only sell gear to the people who want it when they want it. It's like this. It's a service market. It's not a crafting supply and demand market. It's a service industry. You know, fulfilling work orders for people is not that dissimilar to boosting in concept. You're providing a service to someone else in theory, but in theory for a fee. The difficulty is people see the value in boosting, yet they almost entirely fail to see the value in spending weeks setting up a profession in order to craft a piece of gear for somebody. It is why the whole tip what you like mentality with crafting orders was the cherry on top for me not really liking it. Nobody was willing to, due to the fact that nobody really wants to get in any sort of conflict in World of Warcraft when they're doing crafting. Most people home in on crafting because it's a little bit more chill, it's a little bit more solo. It's not as sweaty as like Mythic Plus UG environment and whatever. Because nobody wants to get into any conflict at all. You know, it basically boiled down to, oh, just give me however much gold you think is acceptable for the weeks of effort I've put in to press these 3 buttons. It's just not a me thing. At least the boosters have the, you know, the spine to turn around and say, oh yeah, I'll boost you through this, but it's 80,000 gold. Boom. Pay up, cough up, pay up. Oh, what's that? You want your mythic piece of crafted gear? Oh, tip 500 gold. Fuck off. Not getting out of bed for 500 gold. Not happening. And so I kind of, you know, that was a bit of a detour of emotions there, but like, I feel that crafters are in a good place. Like, if you think about back in Shadowlands, where we had the crafters mark system, where crafters were on a patch by patch basis, given something new to chase after. In Shadowlands, there was a new crafters mark that turned up each season that allowed crafters who had set their professions up to resupply players with what was catch-up gear. And they developed the embellishment system that we have today came from the tail end of Shadowlands, where you could embellish a piece of gear with a few different modifiers before putting it on the auction house. The only thing, the reason they twisted it into work orders was because the quantity of variations of that gear was getting a little bit overwhelming. So much so that somebody that wanted to pre-craft and list one of each variation of just a single piece of gear could have had 20 to 25 different variations. And it meant that players weren't often able to find the exact combination that they wanted. So they created the work order system, so that if there wasn't the one that you wanted, you could put in an order for the one you wanted. Yet somehow they got it, that initial problem that they were trying to solve got twisted into, oh yeah, well, we need to make sure everybody definitely uses this crafting system, so we basically won't allow you to pre-craft and sell anything on the auction house at all, ever. Which was just a pendulum swing in the complete opposite direction. That I've always wondered why, because it kind of makes... They've kind of tried to crowbar in using crests to make lower level catch-up crafted gear, but it's useful for about 2 minutes at the beginning of the season. And then tailors and leatherworkers who aren't willing to stand around in the city all day just begging for tips end up with nothing to do. Or no reason to have leveled their profession. It just seems highly illogical. I don't get why they were like so close to a system that made a lot of sense and would have worked in the favour of most people, and decided to go violently in the opposite direction. You start the season with, there is so much to do, there's no way I can possibly keep up Prey, Delves, Achievements, Gear, Mythic Plus, getting raid ready professions. If they staggered it, we complain there's time gating. No possible way regular person can keep up with all the stuff to do at the start of a season without ending up quote-unquote behind. Like 4 weeks time, I bet the rush is over, the season's starting to lag, 6 weeks and the raid is on its last legs already. I mean, this is why they gone seasonal, right? This is the whole concept behind going seasonal. But yeah, there is kind of like a Zerg rush at the beginning. It's why expansion launches feel incredible. And why, from a goal-making perspective, expansion launches are very lucrative. Because there are so many squirrels, so many distractions at the beginning of an expansion. Leveling your characters, exploring the new dungeons, leveling the new zones, the new reps, and all of this. There's so many distractions at the beginning that it leaves the door wide open for those to make some gold. Since most people have very little desire to run around picking up herbs and ore. It's the purpose behind the decisions they've made with crafting that don't make a lot of sense to me. And is where I think they need to like reevaluate what they're trying to achieve with professions. And I think the issue is that professions is an integral part of the game and has been for so long that they keep up with them. And once every few expansions, they get a little bit more love than they would do normally. But then they go, then they just put us like, C-tier content that must be upkept and maintained, but never really gets the love, Which is what we've seen in in Midnight, to be honest. Starting to get annoyed with all of the anti-bot stuff. Can't just mindlessly fish anymore. Nope, I've got to go do prey stuff. Nope, you have to be 100% engaged. You're looking for more of that sort of, semi-zone out, just do... I mean, that's what herbing and mining was for years, right? For years and years and years and years and years. Most people didn't really care about, like, crafting and making a lot of gold, but post-raid or whilst they were waiting for their mates to log on to go do some M+ or something, they'd fly around and pick up herbs and ore for an hour. And it was mindless and it was relatively monotonous, but it was low engagement. And the flip side is that if they did it for an hour, it covered their night's worth of, consumables for raid or whatever. I was a big fan of them adding like knowledge points and spectries and stuff to herbing and mining because the other side of that argument was often felt that flying around picking up herbs and ore was really boring. But actually, there is place in the game for something that is monotonous and boring, yet simultaneously, makes a little bit of coin for those who aren't trying to buy tokens and play for free, but just want to reduce the damage a little bit of their consumable costs. Picking up a lot more treasures now, but we've not had a shiny blue that would help bump the numbers. It's interesting. Picking up treasures is going to be that that gamble. You could just fly around and do nothing but just pick up lumber, and you'd make a steady amount every hour without fail. Picking up the treasures is like, do I sacrifice 10,000 gold worth of lumber on the chance that I get like 2 or 3 blues that could sell for 30,000 gold? You got that. If you got that gamble in you, the option's there. Run into the first 8 druid bots. They're out, are they? They're out. What the new BM plan for housing after I crafted the item? I figured these warband. What the hell? I have no idea what you mean by the new BM plan. In my head, BM is Beast Mastery, but I'm assuming that's not what you mean. Although I've been flying around for about an hour now and my brain's frazzled because I don't do much of this normally. And of course, the other alternative is whilst I'm doing all of this, I could triple wombo combo it and pick up herbs and ore. But I am more convinced that that's not worth doing. Surprisingly. Unless those flipping curse-bound globes and envenomed doodahs are, like, worth serious money. Which I can't imagine they are. I do tend to think you'll make more money just picking up the lumber. Turning it into decor. The only reason I might also pick up herbs and ore is that it levels up my herbalism and mining at the same time. Not so much because it... There we go. Oh, that's interesting. It's taken the value of those not at their 266 item level. It should have valued those at about 15k. It hasn't. It's pulled them in at ah, okay. TSM doesn't understand the new BOEs yet. That'll be why. TSM has not been configured for the new... Oh, you meant blacksmithing? Oh, that's BS. The other bullshit. Oh, there's one of the decor that when crafted is warbound. Oh, okay. Well, that's also not meant to be a thing. That will probably get hot fixed. They did that. There was a couple of alchemy and cooking ones they did that with in last time. Which they changed. Never going to get that, are we? There's flipping brand new fish that are soulbound for no apparent reason. There's a whole bunch of items that are like got the wrong binding to them. But ultimately, if they're going to do anything to change up the profession system in the any near distant future, I would hope they take the move to take the crafting system, take the work order system as it is, remove the rough edges from it. Rough edges being stupid restrictions like you can't place quality on a public order. Take away the requirement for anybody to provide materials in the order. That's the crafter's gaff, right? Make it super simple to place an order for a piece of gear. I don't understand why they haven't gone this route up until this point. Like, why do they have to make placing an order so goddamn complicated? It can be absolutely dumb level simple. Like, I want this piece of gear. This is how much I'm willing to pay for it. If that's not enough to cover the cost and the materials, your order isn't going to get filled. Not rocket science. Unless some philanthropist is out there that's willing to craft everybody's gear at their expense. Like, which, let's be real, that's not going to happen. It's really simple. I want this piece of gear. Here's 5,000 gold. If that's not enough to cover the materials, whisper me and tell me if absolutely necessary, or I'll learn that pretty damn quick when my piece of gear doesn't get crafted. Making players run around to the flipping auction house or to farm the materials up themselves for a piece of crafted gear is bonkers. Better still, go back to the base item system where players can just buy the base item for a piece of gear off the auction house, and then they can put on their own missive. They can put on a missive to give it the right secondary stats they want. They can put their enchant on it. They can attach their spark to it to get it the right item level that they need. Attach their crests to it. Do whatever. Crafters are there if you want to make modifications, and you can do a recraft of a piece of gear if needed. Like, blows my mind they make so much of the crafting system be done by people who are not the crafter. They don't care. If they wanted to care about that shit, they'd be the crafter themselves. Bought 2 recipes, put them in the war bank, and change tunes. Eh? Positive in the war bank, change tunes. They've gone? Just gone? Okay. Odd. Soulbound Fist even has text next to it saying that it can be bought and sold on the auction. Yeah, I know. There's clearly a bunch of stuff that's broken. They'll fix it, I'm sure. Okay, we're getting close to the end of another half an hour here, where I've also been casually picking up treasures as well. The difference with this is that we have sacrificed a little bit of, like, hourly value. We've picked up less lumber by doing this, because I've been taking more pit stops to pick up treasures. But the payoff of at least so far 2 blues. I mean, these are 7,500 gold and these are 15,000 gold. So at least as of right now, they've more than made up for the loss in lumber that we would have picked up. So it's still arguably better to pick up treasures and lumber at the same time. But, you know, once again, weighted on the fact that you do have to sell those for somewhere near their current valuation to make it worthwhile. No, go away. Oh wait, hang on, that's a one-time treasure. That's a one-timer. Doesn't even exist on WoW things, so like really gone. Odd. It's a weird one. Dare I say, was it an expensive recipe? Is it just out of curiosity? Could I science it by like doing the same, seeing if it disappears for me? Because the quickest and easiest bugs to fix are the ones that are easy to replicate. tune's an absolute banger. Okay. We've done 30 minutes. Nice. We'll call that science experiment 2. That's a wombo combo. Bit of a wombo combo of both lumbering and picking up some treasures. We did lose a little bit of value in lumber. We didn't pick up quite as much lumber. But, you know, caveat here, 2 BOEs to sell. And you're not going to be guaranteed those every half an hour, every hour, but definitely works, you know? Definitely works. Just got a spam message, shows mutual servers, the Discord, might get a few new bots. Yeah, new season. I've seen a few of them flood in. I've been hacking a few of them about. They turn up. There's unfortunately not a lot I can do. There's not a lot I can do. People who join the server and DM other people from the list that are like, there's nothing I can do about those ones, unfortunately, other than let me know who they are and I will ban their ass double time. Yeah, there's been another wave of them come in. I'll fix that after stream. Recently, the Warbank has started to return items back to my bag if I too quickly deposit them, but I'm not sure if it's the Warbank or an add-on that's doing it. Because the Warbank did not accept the items for some reason. I've, yeah, I noticed, I think that might be like what's the add-on? Auction? No. The one by Plus Mouse, the Bagnator. I think Bagnator might be causing that a little bit, but I've not tried to run it naked to see. But yeah, I did notice that actually. I was trying to put a whole bunch of materials in my Warbank quickly, and it spat some of them back out at me.
Greetings, sir and/or ma'am. Fine, leave. I was done talking to you.
I'll send these over to my main character, who is currently selling all of the other random BOEs I find, so these ones I don't care to list. And the lumber can go in the Warbank. All in all, I've got about 1,000 Thalassian lumber apparently now, which I should probably do some in wit. Oh, my Warbank is an absolute mess. Let's not look at that. Let's close that real quick. Let's not look at that one. Right. Okay. That was my little druid science. I need to do a little bit of herbing and mining. I might do that later today. But I'm going to be honest, boys and girls. I'm going to call it there for today. I'm hungry. I need to go get myself some food. Chat, it's Friday. I actually have no idea what's going on this weekend, but I had a very busy weekend last weekend and did absolutely none of my, you know, adulting chores and tasks. But with it being patch week, there's a very strong chance I'm going to have the desire to sit down and play the game a bunch over the weekend. If I get a 3-4 hour period where I know I'm going to be able to like just focus and play games for a bit, I might throw the stream up, but I'm not guaranteeing anything. All said, have a wonderful weekend. If you're blasting the patch this weekend, have fun. You might catch me online. Come say hi on the Discord if you're not there already. But other than that, I'll catch you next week, boys and girls. Have a good one. Peace.